Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be showing you how to make this very simple and easy houndstooth skirt. This was the video that I was working on in my previous vlog about a month back. So if you guys would like the written pattern, it's already available on my coffee shop as well as Etsy. And for this tutorial I won't be using black and white as seen in the photos from my model. So I'll be using yellow and white in order for you guys to see the stitches clearly. And then you'll also need a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a darning needle to weave in your ends, and lastly you'll need a measuring tape. This is a must because you're going to take some measurements. So the measurements that you're going to need are your waistline and then your hip measurement, but I'll consider the waistline more than the hip measurement for this tutorial. So go ahead and measure your waistline measurement and get your first color. My first color will be this, and it's going to be replacing the black color in the original skirt. You're going to get your hook and make a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you're going to hold your yarn like this and then twist it to make that curve, and then yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through, and then you're going to pull the tail. So that's how I make my slip knot. You're going to make a chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So when you have your 11 chains, you're going to go into the second chain from the hook. So not this one, but this one. You're going to go in there with a single crochet, and to single crochet you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook and yarn over, pull through all. That's a single crochet in US terms. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all. And you're going to continue to single crochet into each and every chain across until you have a total of 10 single crochets. So this will be a demonstration. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the original skirt, and then as we go on I'll reintroduce the original skirt when we are finalizing the tutorial. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We have a total of 10 single crochets. Now you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. You're going to single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch. So your stitch has these two. It has this and this. It's made of a V shape, but it has this strand and this strand. So you're going to go into the back loop only and place a single crochet, and you're going to go into each and every stitch, placing 1 single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch across, for a total of 10 single crochets back loop only. This is going to help us to create the ribbed effect around the waistband. So we have a total of 10 single crochets back loop only, and now you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and do the same. We are going to repeat row 2. So go into the back loop only and single crochet into each and every stitch. Alright, so I'm done with row 3. You're going to repeat this row until this is long enough to go around your waist without being stretched. So make sure this is the length of your waistline without being stretched, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. Let me just get some length here because I'm not making the actual skirt. I'm going to just go ahead and make some more rows until I get something that I can use to demonstrate the skirt. Okay, so we are back and I've done a total of 30 rows all together. This is going to be the waistband that I'm going to demonstrate with, but you're going to have to make sure that you have an even number of rows for your waistband. For example, the original skirt is here and I did a total of 110 rows for the waistband. So make sure you have an even number of rows for your waistband. And then we are going to do something different. You're going to chain one after you get the even number of rows. Oh, I had forgotten. Make sure when you place your tape measure like this, you have your waistline measurement, the upper waist. So this is 8, but this is not an actual skirt. Make sure if you had 26 inches, this is 26 inches without stretching anything, because the waistband is stretchy, you can see, but don't stretch it at all. Just make sure this can make it to your waistline measurement. And now we're going to do something different. After you chain one here, you're going to fold over your work like this, and we are going to turn this into a round. So you're going to slip stitch. So go into the back loop and then the stitch on this other side and make a slip stitch like that, and continue to go into each and every stitch, joining this panel to the opposite panel. Like that. I have 2 more stitches left, and the moment you're done with this, we now have some sort of ring. So you're going to chain one and make sure your work is now on the right side. Turn your work to the right side. The right side is this one, the wrong side is this one with this ridge where we joined from. So you're going to go into each and every row with a stitch, and we are going to alternate between single crochet and double crochet. So if you had 30 rows like me, this is a demonstration, you should have a total of 30 stitches all the way around. If you had 110 rows for your waistband, you should make sure you have 110 stitches around the waistband. So let's get started. After a chain of 1, you're going to go into the first row with a single crochet, and then the second row gets a double crochet like that, then single crochet into the next row and double crochet into the next. So those are 4 stitches, then 5. We're alternating between single and double. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So I have a total of 30 stitches all the way around, and your last stitch should be a double crochet. Make sure you have that. Your first stitch is a single, your last stitch is a double. So you're going to go into the very first single crochet that you made and make a slip stitch. But instead of using the same exact color, we are going to finish this row with a different color, which is white. So you're going to introduce your second color at this moment, and you're going to insert your hook and then introduce your second color and make your slip stitch, and then pull on this yellow tail, and then you're going to chain one and turn your work. So at this point we've dropped the yellow. We shall come back to it later on. So after you chain one and turn, you'll notice that your last stitch from the previous round was a double crochet. That means it should get a single crochet, and then the next stitch is a single crochet, it should get a double crochet. So we are going to repeat that all the way around. Every double crochet gets a single crochet, and every single crochet gets a double crochet. So you'll be able to see that the double crochets are longer, the single crochets are shorter. So when you see a long stitch, just put a short stitch, which is a single crochet, and when you see a short stitch, make sure you place a long stitch, which is a double crochet. So I hope I'm clear on that. Single, double. I'm very sure if you have no errors in your previous round, the moment you figure out the first stitch, then everything else should just fall into place. So you're going to go all the way around your skirt doing this. So make sure when you're coming to the end, your last stitch is always a double crochet. Your first stitch is always a single crochet, your last stitch is always a double crochet. And once we get done with this, you're going to bring your yellow yarn to the front like this, and then insert your hook into the single crochet and grab yellow instead of white and make a slip stitch. So that's what we have. And the moment you grab yellow, you're going to switch which color you have on your hand, and then you're going to chain one and turn your work. So when you turn your work, you should notice this is a double crochet, so it will get a single crochet, which is correct because I told you at the beginning of every round you should have a single crochet, and at the end of every round you should have a double crochet. So this is correct. You're going to just go ahead and keep alternating between single and double crochet, placing one single crochet into each double crochet and then one double crochet into each single crochet. So you can see these stitches that go deeper into the yellow, those are double crochets and they always get a single crochet. And then there are these stitches that are a bit on top, they don't go deep into the yellow, those are single crochets and they always get double crochets. So you're going to go all the way around repeating this until we come to the end of the round, and I'll meet you back at this point. So we're coming to the end of round 2. Is this round 2? Round 3, because the first round was the same color as the waistband. This was round 2, the white one, and now this is round 3. And make sure you place a double crochet into the very last stitch, and then you're going to bring the white to that side, and then insert your hook into the first single crochet and pull on the white to make a slip stitch, and pull on the yellow. So that means we switch to white, and then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and then repeat the same exact process. So we're going to repeat this until we get the length of the skirt that we want. And I wanted to show you something. You can see the effect has started forming, and I think I should do this round so that at least we have a clear picture of what's happening. So when I put my work like this, you can see the houndstooth stitch starting to form, and it's the same exact one that we have on this skirt. Make sure at the end of every round you chain 1 and turn your work so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round. That's going to help you have the seam line in one straight line. This is the seam line of my skirt, and I don't want to say perfect, but this skirt is perfect to me because I see no errors at all. It has no mistakes, and everything is just falling into place, because the seam line is usually where people find challenges on how to do it, but I've explained it in this small sample. You'll have your seam line like this if you do everything that I've told you on this sample. So for this skirt, I did a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, a total of 45 rounds to get the length of the skirt that I needed. If you want it longer, you can go ahead and make 50, 60, 70. That's really up to you. But for me, I did a total of 45 rounds, including the very first round that is the same color as the waistband. So the next thing that you will do is to make a very long chain and then go in and out of every row. And you can see this drawstring is going to help us gather the waistline like that, because when we were creating that waistband, we didn't stretch it. That means if it passes through your hips comfortably well, by the time it gets to your waistline, it will be a little bit loose. So that's the use of this drawstring. You'll just put it through each and every row on the top stitches of the skirt. All right, so I've come to the end of the round and I'm placing my last double crochet. So I'm assuming that we are done with the number of rounds that we have, that we want for our skirt. So you'll go into the very first single crochet, and this time we are going to slip stitch with white. We're assuming this is the last round. So you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to cut your yarn, pull through, and then you're going to identify the front side of your work. So let me say this is the front side. I'll pull this yellow strand onto the back side. Onto the back side, and then snip it off because we no longer need the long strand anymore. And now you're going to just make a tight knot to join the two colors together, and also like to fasten off your work. After that, you're going to chain to cut your yarn. If you don't want to do this, you can go ahead and weave in the ends using a darning needle. So you're going to get your darning needle and weave in all these ends that are on the inside of the skirt. And now the next thing that you're going to do is to get the same color of yarn that you used for your waistband and make a very long chain that can go around your waistline and even beyond. For the black skirt, I used I made about 200 chains, but for this one it's a little bit small, so I'm going to just make a long chain that's long enough to go around my 30 rows of the waistband. This is just a simple chain, and when you have it ready, when you get the length that you want, you're going to cut your yarn and you're going to go in and out of, you're going to identify the front side of your work. So you go in and out of every row and pull through your waistband. In, out, in, out. Like that. In, out, in and out. So just make sure it goes around until it comes back to the front. Okay, something like this. Something like this. So this is the drawstring. So let me introduce my actual skirt. So you can see the drawstring here, it has gone all the way around the skirt, and it's going to help us have the waistband adjustable to accommodate our hips when wearing it, and also to tighten when we want it well fitted. And that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll be leaving some photos of my model wearing this skirt, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.